This is Up on Game presents Conversations with a Legend with LaVar Arrington. And LaVar is sitting down with some of the legends you have watched on and off the field. This is Up on Game presents Conversations with a Legend. And now, here's LaVar Arrington.
What's up, everybody? It's LaVar Arrington here, Fox Sports Radio, Up on Game, Conversations with a Legend. And we have a legend in the making, a legend in his own right. My man is doing big things, and he is a big man that's doing big things. That's right. I got my man Tyron Armstead with me. He's a Miami Dolphin. You know, how you be a big dog but be a big fish at the same time? I don't know. I mean, but a dolphin isn't a fish. A dolphin is a porpoise. You know, they're
Just
mammals.
told me something. Yeah,
They
well,
are
yeah,
mammals.
right,
You
right.
know, it's a porpoise.
Dolphins the baddest thing in the water.
You
That's
think
what they
so?
are. Absolutely.
You know, that's true because you do know that a killer whale
It's
is a dolphin.
Orca.
Okay, all right, that's fair enough. We're see, if y'all didn't think that football players had, you know, brain cells that were working on different levels of just X's and O's, you just learned something very, very cool right there. That killer whales are in fact and indeed dolphins.
Fans up, baby.
All right, let's let's start with fins up.
Let's do it.
What happened?
The challenges of a season. You know, it's a lot of unpredictability in every season. You got your team, and you have your goals set, and you're chasing your goals. On that path, sometimes you got to get lucky. Sometimes you're gonna be fortunate, and we had some unfortunate events. I'm not a guy of excuses.
Okay.
I'm not a guy of excuses at all. We wrote our own story. We created our own lane. So we got what we got what we deserved. You know what I mean? In the totality of the season, we just came up short.
And that's fair. But y'all good, and y'all young. How does Miami compare to when you were in New Orleans? How does that?
It's a different makeup. You know, I came to New Orleans with Drew Brees. You know what I mean? Established Hall of Fame quarterback. Sean Payton won a Super Bowl already. So it's a different makeup. It's a different foundation. When I got to Miami, it was very young. I was the only player 30 when I signed to the Dolphins. And just a lot of energy, a lot of growing that needed to be done, a lot of teaching, a lot of educating that needed to be done to win consistently. Now, the second year, I think we made a lot of strides. We made a lot of leaps in that direction, brought in more veterans. We became a smarter team. But we still had some growing pains. We still had some issues, things that need to be ironed out to be successful in January and February. But I love the way that we're the path. I love our trajectory. I love
You like Mike?
Going. I love Mike.
He's a cool dude.
He's a cool dude, man.
He's like I call him the hipster. He's like a hipster, but he's like a cool ass coach, man. Like he seems like I never understood why it was hard for coaches, and you're old enough to understand like the changing, the evolution of a coach. Like the old school coaches are more or less like they a-holes. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them didn't let you know, or maybe not. It wasn't about them caring about you, especially in the league. It was more so about them what results they can get, or your ass going to be up out of there. They're going to find somebody else that can do it. It seems like coaches these days, especially the coach y'all got down there, he really understands the value of connecting with y'all as people.
Yeah, and just like you said, the old school approach and mentality was more strict, disciplinarian.
My way or the highway.
My way or the highway.
Right.
We'll get you up out of here if you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's just what it was.
Fair tactics.
And Sean Payton had a lot of that, you know, especially in the early part of my career. He's a Parcells guy, and I've heard traditionally Parcells was tough.
And will talk bad to you.
Bad.
Yeah.
Sean would talk bad to you. And don't really care how you take it either.
Right.
But even with him, I saw the evolution. I saw him.
Because he had to evolve.
He evolved.
If you're going to get the results.
That's a fact.
the athlete today. Talk to me about this because it's interesting because you were on that line of old school, now new school. New school athlete, these dudes is different, man.
Different.
Like
Different.
It's funny that you're smiling because
Different.
I'm not in the locker room with them, but I've coached. I coached for a long time, and I've mentored for a long time, so I know how these young men are, even though I'm not in the locker room with them. But they are a different
breed.
They shot out, dog.
A different breed.
They shot out. I mean,
yeah.
And I ain't saying that in a bad way.
Right.
It's just this new school, new age of athlete. It's almost like they're movie stars or rap artists or entertainers. And they happen to be like super mutants that can play football.
Right. I mean, a lot of them are movie stars and pop stars when they come into the league.
Right.
Now, you know what I mean? With NIL deals and stuff, some of them are taking pay cuts to go to the league in their first few years.
Right.
They're different. They're different, man. It's the attention to detail is different. The focus is different. The delivery, me trying to help or mentor a guy, like you have to find ways to deliver the message to where it's received in the right way. These guys are a lot more sensitive and resistant to some hard coaching or hard criticism. So it's different. It's a little bit of a different time.
Let's talk a little bit more about you. You were a dope-ass shot putter.
Appreciate it.
And even did so well where actually the conversation of possibly thinking about the Olympics.
Yeah.
Did it ever become a thing where I got to make a choice here or I want to make a choice here or whatever? Like, how did you approach that? And how did that, being in track, your work at, because I was in track. I don't know what it was to throw a shot put or anything like that, but I know that the workouts were very grueling for track.
Tough.
Did that play a part in how you prepared yourself and how you prepare yourself in what you do for football?
Yeah, especially when I was doing both in college. It was tough. I had full academic schedule, and then I had track practice and spring ball.
Dang.
So
both
at
the same time.
Both. So during the spring, I will have to start my days at 6 a.m., early classes, practice track about 12:30, 1 o'clock, and then football practice would be about 3:30. So it was long days during the spring. My junior year in college, I finished 10th in the country, but I was 2 feet away from the Olympic trial mark. So I thought about going back doing track my senior year because I was jumping 4 feet every year. I was improving 4 feet every year. So I thought about going back and competing for the NCAA championship.
Okay.
Try to win that thing and hit the Olympic trial mark. But ultimately, I ended up going to train and get ready for the draft.
For the draft.
Yeah.
All right, before I let you go, what are you thinking? Like, listen, I'm going to say this. I feel like the San Francisco 49ers defensive front has not been playing the way they need to have been playing for them to have the success that they need against a team like the San Francisco 49ers, against the Chiefs. And the Chiefs defense is playing phenomenal. Now, I feel like the Chiefs defense has carried the Chiefs offense this year, and the 49ers, their offense is carrying the lack of production that they have up front right now from the defense. Like, look, Bosa, he got his sacks, but it just seems as though teams have been able to run on them, teams have been able to access them and create space. Now, the linebackers is dope. Fred Warner, Green,
Nice.
they're nice, but can they do that against Patrick Mahomes if they're able to run the ball? What's your take on the game?
It's the key to the game. The trenches. The trench battle is be the key to the game. And the same for San Francisco offense against the Chiefs.
The Chiefs defense, yeah.
Front, yeah. So who's going to be able to run the ball effectively? The Chiefs have been dominating time of possession in the playoffs. That's been the secret sauce of why they're still here, because during the regular season we wasn't too impressed, But you get in the postseason, Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, Andy Reid, those guys have been dominating the ball. They've been dominating the ball, And you got to do that with the guys up front.
Yeah, you do.
You need big 3rd and 2s, big 3rd and 3s, and those guys up front have been producing. I think this game comes down to the trenches. It'll be a chess battle between Shanahan and Andy Reid, but it's going to come down to the battle of the trenches.
Who you got?
I think you can't go against Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
I think anytime you do, he burn you. So I'm a roll with Pat Mahomes.
It's Tyron Armstead, y'all, the
Appreciate
big dog, but he's a fin up.
Fins up.
And as you know, now we let y'all know that fins up means that you're a mammal. And if you know about mammals, you know I'm all mammal, the king of the mammals, in fact. And I got a dope-ass mammal with me right now. T.A. T.A. All right? This is Conversations with a Legend is up on Game, Fox Sports Radio. We'll be right back.